This is a series about brilliant innovations and design solutions from all over New York and the tri-state area. There is just a few spots left for our top 10 final.
We are chasing the big design idea, and we've already selected 8 design innovations from the season so far that have made it through to our best of the best top 10 final. So just 2 spots remain that will be selected from this episode.
Welcome to New York by Design. We've gathered a group of New York design industry leaders via Zoom, tasked with the job of judging each innovation and selecting our finalists, before ultimately crowning one design project the winning innovation of the season.
There are some real game-changer innovations here.
It is difficult to compare a shower cap against a giant piece of mechanical engineering.
One thing's going to change the world, one thing's going to change your life. How do you judge?
So the pressure's really on now, we have to actually come to an agreement.
Some arguments, which is fun and exciting as well. It's good to see the back and forth on some really talented designers who really know their stuff.
There are some camps. I sense some collaboration going on in terms of voting, a little Survivor-like.
It's a difficult conversation. I'm not really sure how we're going to get there, but I think I see the conversation starting to take shape.
Let's get started with our first innovation.
The human scale chair, it's an amazing feat of engineering.
Designers are constantly revisiting this problem, trying to come up with new solutions and trying to create better chairs for people.
As they use plastics that are found in the ocean, so they're cleaning up the environment. The amount of impact that this chair will have on the planet is critical in this day and age.
Does the world need another chair? I can't wait to ask the designer of this soon-to-be revealed innovation from human scale. But first, the backstory.
What's amazing what's transpired in 6 months is the home office has become so important, right?
But at home, we're going back to the early days of the office when we had huge numbers of back issues. We have to allow people to work in a healthy way like they work in the office in a healthy way at home. So Karam, this is our prototype shop. It's one thing to design something on a computer. It's quite another to actually make it and see how it works. And chairs in particular, you have to feel them, you have to sit in them, you have to recline.
Bob, this is amazing. This kind of hands-on engineering, I've always had great respect for.
We'll make 6 or 7 prototypes in the process of designing a single chair. And if you focus on function and innovation, and you allow the form to flow from that,
right,
as simply as possible, you end up with a form that's timeless.
Todd. Why does the world need another chair?
In my opinion, the world needs a chair that suits everyone, that fits every body type. We're using the body weight of the sitter to actually create the spring. So when you sit in a chair, it's tuned for you. It's as if it's tailored for your body. Now these are designed to be a little crude, but they're there to tell you stories.
More comfortable than I expected. It's really smooth and effortless. Can I see the real chair?
Absolutely.
All right, time for the big reveal.
So we wanted folks to sit in the chair, and 99% of human population gets the same level of comfort naturally without needing to make one adjustment. So what we've got here is a 3D knitted cover, so there's no waste. We use ocean-bound plastic in the plastic parts. The more chairs that are sold, the cleaner the environment gets.
Sweet.
Hey Karam, here, check this out.
Now what is this?
So those are nylon pellets. They were created by reclaimed fishing nets. So instead of the fishermen discarding the nets into the ocean, they give it to an organization called Borreo. We turn it into pellets and then we turn it into chairs.
Oh yeah, that feels great. I feel great. Most people just think of these things as very banal, but they're not. They're incredibly important for our well-being, right?
They are. In fact, the average American sits for about 13 hours a day. If you can move spontaneously without thinking about it, you'll move.
Right.
And you move all day, which is really comfortable and really healthy.
You've seen it here first. The Path Chair by Human Scale. The world's most sustainable chair that makes you feel good about sitting again.
So I think what Willow Twin does is great. It's understanding how a building works and making sure that the efficiency and the maintenance of these buildings is taken care of.
So this is a process that takes real physical buildings and essentially creates a digital facsimile, a twin.
As a homeowner, I would really love to have a digital twin of my home.
Look at this. New York is a city with an incredible density of buildings of any form and shape. This story is about an innovation that grows within them. It's transparent and yet so impactful, and it aims at making them smarter and smarter. Sabrina, we are in such an amazing location. How many of the buildings out there your company owns and manages?
I can't even count. We build them, we buy them.
It's quite a responsibility, huh?
It is. We take it very seriously. So we make a point of staying ahead of that leading edge in technology, whether it be to deliver an elevated architectural experience or the latest technology in order to provide comfort and better energy efficiency. In this building, we installed a digital twin.
A digital twin? What is a digital twin?
So a digital twin is a virtual replica of the building systems, whether it be security, HVAC, your metering. All of these are synthesized onto one screen, which allows a building manager or operator to better operate their building and provide comfort for our tenants. And we can foresee when a piece of equipment is going to fail. And in addition, the digital twin will tell us whether or not that piece of equipment is under warranty and what is the phone number we need to call to have that piece of equipment changed.
Wow, Kevin, look at this space. I would say beautiful.
Aesthetic and beauty is important and is part of what energizes people when they come to work. But now, from a functionality standpoint, it's increasingly more important for the owner of the buildings to work closely with the occupants to ensure that the workplace is the best for their employees so that they can really optimize productivity of the people. So we own just under 2,000 buildings globally.
Wow.
So the opportunity is enormous. And if we get the technology right here where we can decrease energy consumption by 25 or 30%, then we'll be able to take that and deploy it to our other buildings.
So Ian, show me how it works.
Sure. This is the digital twin of One Manhattan West.
I see there are a couple of red lines. What does it mean?
It means there's a piece of equipment that's in an alarm state that requires attention to make sure that it's working properly. We call those insights. What we're now looking at is the 3D view of level 4. We're looking at the architecture, the structure, and we could turn on additional systems like the mechanical system, which is all the ductwork and the equipment like the fans. And we can access very technical data about the equipment so that if it's your responsibility to go out to that piece of equipment, you have all the information that you need at your fingertips to make an informed decision.
Willow Twin is creating value for the people living in the building, for the people managing the building, and for the planet we all live in.
Fast casual becomes a response of what you're seeing in the streets of New York, which I think is very interesting.
This project here uses water barriers to create more modular and safer and easier to deploy outdoor seating, outdoor dining areas.
The irrigation and reuse of water and recycling was a great notion to bring into the project.
We've all become familiar with this sort of scene. As the new normal continues, temporary becomes semi-permanent, becomes who knows what. I think they need a little help. So Man, here we are walking on West 46th Street, also known as Restaurant Row in New York City. It is a bit of a hodgepodge. How have you addressed that?
We had been working on a project for close to 10 years now that address some of those concerns by creating modular toolkits that are designed to be a much better solution. What we've done here is we've created a flexible outdoor seating concept that is sort of like a Lego kit approach.
And I see you've incorporated the water barrier.
Absolutely right. So that becomes, a little bit of our special sauce. We knew that that's going to make this structure sturdy and at the same time keep the user safe from a pedestrian safety standpoint. And, we even added lighting.
So this is where you got your inspiration.
Yes, this is where I got it. They start me thinking one day, could there be a reality where they're lined up with pedestrian-friendly amenities on the outside while still keep people or workers safe on the inside?
Folks know that it's permanent, the outdoor dining and the curbside dining, and that there's the opportunity to really rethink, raise the design standards for what we're doing. And it's also very good to see the New York ByDesign TV show here covering this launch event and this fantastic innovation.
So Tim, what is it about fast casual that you like?
What I like about fast casual is it's an example of really good design. First of all, it looks good. It looks a lot better than some of the things that popped up in a very temporary way in New York City streets, which are always energetic, but not known to be particularly photogenic.
The plants are a lovely touch. How do you maintain them?
We had a little bit of a design problem where we knew the water needs to be circulated every so often, otherwise it gets yucky or murky. So everything that you see here is being irrigated with the water inside of the water barriers.
And a reminder for social distancing.
Because we know that after that first glass of wine, we all forget. Even if I wanted to be close to you, I can't drag it over there because everything is bolted down into the water barriers.
So, shall we order?
I thought you never asked.
Although the design of the fast casual began before these times, it took a pandemic to take this great idea to the next level. This is a silver lining towards the beginning of a new public space culture.
So as an architect, I think that the idea of working with shipping containers has been around for a while, but the idea to have these rapid response prototypes that can have the rapid testing for COVID is a great idea and a great solution for the world right now.
I love that it creates privacy, comfort, safety. When I walk around New York City, I see these pop-up tents for COVID testing, and there's no privacy, they're open, chaotic.
I love the idea that they're standing it up immediately to help with the current state, but they've also got an eye on design for the long term.
I hope I don't get squashed out here. There are over 19 million shipping containers sprinkled all over the world. They've become so common, in fact, that they've essentially become invisible. But in the eyes of designers, these shipping containers, well, they contain within them the very real seeds of innovation. They can truly change the world. So, Paul, this definitely doesn't look like a cabin in the woods. What's going on here?
That is our DTEC series, a COVID extraction and CLIA laboratory made in a shipping container. The team was tasked with a mission of finding small spaces to deploy extraction and testing units so that hard to reach people, poor people, can get the same tests and test results as everybody else. And one of the beautiful things is that we build it remotely off-site, and then all of a sudden it can be delivered and activated in days, unlike traditional construction where, it'll take years.
Hey Chris, so I understand you're there in Oklahoma. How on earth does one go about transforming a container into a lab?
Starts with an architectural design and then we translate that into a drawing package that goes out to our team in the factory, and they build these amazing projects out of these containers.
Paul was showing us how he was able to take one container and chain them together essentially as big as you wanted to go. Are there design considerations that come along with that?
I think when you begin your cutting and welding on the box and you start mating them together, it's just ensuring a tight seal so that you can take one box and add 3, 4, 5, however many you want, and make it feel like it's still a single structure.
Once they're completed, can they be shipped just like they were when they were actually shipping containers?
Yes, we can. We ship them by our normal modes of transportation.
Chris, thanks for talking with us, man. Guys, this seems like such a Grimshaw project.
From the outset, we've used industrial design and integrated it into architecture.
So you can really look at how you design a building as a kit of parts.
Let's get to brass tacks. How does this literally work?
There's a collection stage and then there's the actual laboratory stage. So this is a fully functioning collections unit and lab. Samples literally come in one door and come out the other door.
So when we first designed it, it was a 3-hour process with a 2-hour test, and there's now a 90-minute process with a 45-minute test, and the next one coming up actually tests for influenza and COVID-19 at the same time.
It's a very complex process and it looks very simple.
And that's the art, is making something that's complicated look really simple.
You know, it's incredible when you think about something as ubiquitous as a shipping container. But when you look at the big picture, these individual buildings actually create a system. And that system of architecture can adapt in real time to the changing realities of the world. And that is what good design is all about.
The thing I love about Not or Not is that it's like an open source living lab.
Designers are always interested in new materials and using old materials in new ways.
I think what's really interesting about it is that it's using some hardcore machine learning, artificial intelligence work, and what comes out of this process so far is really stunning.
At first glance, this facade looks strangely familiar, but take a second look, and there's more to it. Kind of like this entire building. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Hey, David.
Hey.
So tell me, what is this?
So this is a new laboratory building for Princeton University. We were thinking that just like in open source software, where it's designed to deliberately change over time by many other people that contribute, maybe a building could be the same way. We're very interested in experimenting with some kind of sustainability features. We actually made the facade of the building out of scaffolding boards that come from New York City construction sites that would normally be thrown away.
So you reclaimed the wood, is that fair to say?
Yeah.
But it also looks like it possibly was treated.
Each piece of wood is a little bit different than the others, and we wanted to see if we could detect what made one board different than the other boards. So we used a version of artificial intelligence to try to detect where unique features like knots are in the wood. So the way this worked is we had about 1,000 scaffolding boards, and we took a picture of each one. We asked a human to click not with the KN or not with an N. Then the computer could learn what the human was doing and kind of replicate it. But the computer could not only determine whether it had a knot, but it could also hone in on the exact location of the knot. So it was exciting and even a little scary. Then we created another system which basically sandblasted just where the knots are, which creates this unique pattern of ridges.
David and I had a lot of fun discussing how we might incorporate performance aspects into the building. You can look at the boards here and see how the ridges, right, create pockets. And those pockets, depending on how big they are, have an effect on how heat leaves the building. And when air is staying in a place, it's the same as the air stuck in a double pane window.
Got it.
Increases the insulating factor.
Are you saying that these wooden boards that came from landfill can serve as insulation?
Exactly.
Is it as simple as that?
But it's a research question nobody's really ever pursued.
These narrow fins, if the hypothesis is right, act as an invisible jacket for the building. They're keeping it warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether there's a knot or not, one thing's for sure. There's a lot of attention these days on the life cycle of products, and it shouldn't be any different for a building. This open source living laboratory is making sure that architecture is meeting the challenges of our planet.
Which design innovation from the series do you think should win? Vote for your favorite project in the Nambe People's Choice Award. Just by casting your vote, you could win one of 3 designer homewares: Steve Casalino's Curvo wine rack, Karim Rashid's Morphic chip and dip, and Scott Henderson's chillable salad bowl with servers. All commissioned by Nambe. Design your life. Just go to NewYorkByDesign.com or scan the QR code on the screen and cast your vote in the Nambe People's Choice Award. Good luck. We're moments away from finding out which innovations our judges have chosen to go through to the best of the best final later in the season. But first, let's take a look at a ByDesign spotlight.
We hear a lot about smart technologies these days, smart watches, smartphones, smart TVs, but what about smart playgrounds? Tanya, what are all these amazing things you've created?
These are a sample of our Play9 Smart Range, which are a range of these beautiful, interactive and fun products that go in commercial play spaces all around the world.
Like shopping centres and airports?
Absolutely, also hospitals and museums.
And they look so interactive.
And that's our sweet spot, where we bring together the right mix of physical and digital play for kids. So this is our slide, or better known as whoosh. So a perfect example here of physical and digital coming together to really create a multi-sensory experience.
Wow, look how it lights up. So beautiful.
It is, it is. This is our Kidzone, which is by far our most popular product all around the world. Everything we do is pre-built with touch and also gesture, so you can stand back and not touch a thing.
Mark, everything in the Smart Range is so beautiful, and I believe it's all done in-house.
Absolutely it is. We take it from the concept and we take it all the way through to production and what you've seen on the floor downstairs. The young kids are so ahead with the technology, and their demand for the latest and greatest has really pushed us. We're looking at the content, the games, the sensory devices, going, how can we push the boundaries? How can we make it better?
So basically everything in the Play9 Smart Range is all connected and controlled by one central point.
All from this tablet?
Yes, which means I can change the game just with a flick of a button. Or take the bear, for example, we can change the language the bear speaks.
Can it speak Spanish?
It can. Here you go.
¿Has encontrado mi nariz?
I have no idea what it's saying, but it sounds beautiful.
It is super cute. So the bear, like all of the products in the range, can be controlled from anywhere in the world.
Well, it just so happens that our executive producer, Mike, is at the other end of the country in one of your sites. How about we dial him in and see how it works in real life?
Great idea.
All right, Tanya, I'm about 1,000 miles away from you in Brisbane, and I want to put this to the test. We've got Oliver here and Christopher. They want to go to a different game, Tanya.
Can we do dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs, Tanya? Can we do dinosaurs, was the question?
We do have dinosaurs.
Of course, you're changing this at the moment, but the idea is that you could be centre management.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we have clients in so many different areas, and sometimes, head office is not where the local sort of team are. So we can change content from wherever you are. You can be as organised as you want and change it a year ahead, have your full schedule, or you could change it, as I did, pretty instantaneously as well. One of the other really fantastic features is an analytics dashboard. What that is completely anonymous. It's purely based on what's the most popular game, when the most popular game was, and then the team can go ahead and schedule their marketing plan and their games accordingly.
Well, you know what? I think I should have a go at this. I don't think the kids should have all the fun.
So often in design, the focus is either on the physical or on the digital. The Play9 Smart Range brings these together seamlessly. And what's more, it brings a smile to the kids' faces.
And now it's time to reveal which innovations from this episode will go through to the best of the best top 10 final.
The whole idea that a company like Brookfield can think about how a building works and making sure that the efficiency and the energy saving of one building can then be sent to another building.
We've been talking about smart homes. We're going to have these smart buildings soon, and there's going to be a real difference between smart buildings and, quote unquote, dumb buildings.
Shipping containers are being reused today, but the way they use the shipping container to impact the world is amazing to me.
They've really made something very complicated appear simple. So I'm really inspired by this.
Congratulations to Willow Twin and Shipping Container for making it true. Join us next time for our top 10 best of the best final, where we reveal the ultimate winner of New York by Design.
For more information on any of the innovations featured and to cast your vote in the People's Choice Award, go to NewYorkByDesign.com.